Welcome to NAMASTEAND9TH Bedtime Yoga Flow with prompts. Today we will begin in hero pose. We're going to start in a kneeling position, resting on the knees and the shins with the tops of your feet flat on the floor and the toes pointing back. We're going to sit the buttocks down between your heels, keeping your torso upright. We're going to find an internal rotation in your thighs, pressing them downward. We're going to lengthen the tailbone down towards your heels as you lift your pubic bone up towards your belly button. Rest your hands on your thighs with the palms facing up in a gesture of receiving and energizing, or down for a more grounding and calming effect. We're going to hold for 1 to 7 breaths, or you can remain in this pose longer if desired. If you find that your thighs feel too tight, you can try sitting on a block or two, or you can even try a rolled up blanket. We're gonna inhale in through the nose and exhale out through the mouth. Breathing in ease, releasing calm. And we're gonna slowly ease into child's pose. For child's pose, you can place a block underneath. You can place it underneath the forehead. You're going to kneel on your hands and knees, hands planted shoulder width apart. Bring your big toes together and your knees about hip distance apart. Sit your hips back onto your heels as you extend your torso forward, laying your stomach onto your thighs. Let your shoulders round forward, allowing your forehead to rest gently on the floor or block. You can place a block back in between your feet to help raise your hips off the ground if you find that your hips are tight. And breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Breathing in, ease, and releasing, calm. And we're going to slowly just transition into cat pose. Allow your shoulder blades to separate and breathe more space into your upper spine. We're going to slowly move into cow pose and alternate between cat and cow for 5 to 7 breaths. For cow pose, you're going to be in a tabletop position. Arch your back and draw your stomach muscles towards your spine to keep from sinking into your lower back. On inhalation, lift your sternum and arch your upper back, lifting your sitting bones towards the ceiling. Hold for 1 to 5 breaths, alternating in between cat and cow. For cat, you're pushing away the earth. For cow, you're breathing in, planting the hands directly below the shoulders and knees beneath your hips. This is a great spinal stretch to help release the stored up energy to get you ready for bed. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Press your chest towards your thighs and bring your head between your arms, lengthening up through your tailbone, and keep your thighs slightly internally rotated. Finding a neutral pelvis, gaze between your feet or towards your navel. If you find that your hips are a little tight in this position, you can bend the knees rather than bending your back. You can pedal. Lie face down on your stomach, bend your arms, and place your wrists underneath your elbows with your fingers facing towards the front of your mat. Inhale and straighten your arms so that your shoulders are directly above your wrists as you lift your thighs and knees off the floor. Spread your fingers and ground down, draw your tailbone down, and lift your pubic bone towards your belly button. Hold for 1 to 5 breaths. And we're going to slowly transition into cat pose. We're going to push the earth away, exhaling. And we're going to inhale into cow pose, which is tabletop. And we're going to slowly lean back into child's pose, allowing the buttocks to fully sit down on the inner thighs and ankles. You can place a blanket right underneath your bottom if you feel like your hips are a little tight, or you can use a block. And we're going to inhale in through the nose, exhale out through the mouth. Now we're going to transition into bound angle pose. Both knees and bring the soles of your feet together as you draw your feet in towards your pelvis, keeping your knees apart. Hold your ankles and press the small toe side of both your feet together, opening the insides of your feet as if you were opening a book. Inhale through the mouth, lengthening the sternum and open your collarbones. Exhale and fold forward if desired. Leading with your heart, hold for lie on your back. We're going to transition into bridge pose. We're going to bend the knees so that they are directly over the ankles. Your feet should be hip width apart and parallel, extending your arms along your sides with the palms facing up. We're going to keep the back of the head, shoulders, and upper back on the floor as you press your heels down and lift your hips up. We're going to draw your tailbone down towards your knees to lengthen your lower back. Roll your shoulders underneath one at a time, externally rotating your outer upper arms to open your upper back. Draw your shoulders blades in towards your chest as you broaden across your collarbones. Bring your chest towards your chin, lifting the chin to make space for the back of your neck. Keep the natural curve of your cervical spine. Find resistance between your knees so that they don't open too wide. Keeping the feet for knees to chest pose. We're going to draw your shoulders back and hug your knees closer into your chest, lengthening your tailbone, elongating your spine, and hold for 1 to 5 breaths, gently pulling your knees closer to your chest with each exhalation. Instead of bringing both knees to your chest, you can bring just one knee into your chest at a time. Now we're slowly going to transition into happy baby pose. With your head flat on the mat, bend your knees towards your chest at a 90-degree angle. Face the soles of your feet upward towards the ceiling. Reaching forward, grab and hold the inside or outside of your feet. Going to hold for 5 to 7 breaths. And you can slowly rock side to side depending on how it feels for you. This is a very relaxing pose. We're going to transition into supine spinal twist on the right side. So you're going to stack the hips and you're going to lean to the right, allowing them to fall to the ground. You're going to take your left hand and take it the opposite way, pressing it onto the ground and facing that left arm as well. Slowly breathe in and out through the nose and exhale through the mouth. We're going to sit in this pose for 5 breaths. And then we're going to transition to the center. Inhale, exhale, going to lower the legs onto the left side. Make sure that the hips are stacked, allowing the feet to also stack. You're going to take the right hand and go the opposite way of your stacking legs, and you're going to face the same way as your left hand. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then back to center, the big inhale. Now we're going to slowly release the legs down to the floor into corpse pose. We are going to lay here and just think about how relaxing our yoga was tonight before bed. Let your eyes, jaw, tongue, and throat soften, releasing any controlled breath, and begin to breathe quietly. Remain here for 3 to 10 minutes or even longer if desired. Before transitioning out of the pose, you want to wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers, slowly wake up the body. You can place a rolled up blanket underneath your knees if you feel any lower back discomfort. Make sure that your body isn't touching anything near your mat, such as a block, strap, or water bottle. You want to avoid keeping your eyes open and letting them wander the room, and positioning your body asymmetrically. Thank you for joining us on the mat. I hope that you take this relaxing feeling with you each night that you go to bed. Get that deep reset tonight. We're going to sit into easy pose, which is crisscross applesauce. I like to take my left and right hand and place them on the chest and belly and do some deep breathing.